Coming up on OU Nightly. A Sooner send-off for women's gymnastics today, their journey to the national championship. Plus, a former Sooner star retires from the NBA. What a teammate has to say. And a local restaurant is up for sale. The owner tells us why. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Noah Mack. We begin tonight with a big Sooner send-off.
That's right. The women's gymnastics team is heading to the national championship in Fort Worth.
OU Nightly's Stone Weber joins us live with the story. Stone?
It was a day of celebration here in Norman, Oklahoma, as OU women's gymnastics gears up for another trip to the national championship. The team's recent success has led to some people calling OU a gymnastics school as they chase their third consecutive national championship.
To be able to say that it's a gymnastics school, that's amazing. I mean, we put in so much hard work in the preseason, the season. Every single day we get into the gym, we're working so hard, so that it just makes you feel good. It's been an incredible 4 years being here at the University of Oklahoma. I'm super excited. This team is absolutely amazing, and we're just really excited to show everybody what we got this year.
While Oklahoma's dominance might be popular in the Sooner State, that's not the case around the country.
You know, people love to hate the #1 team. So you've got, I think last year people had on shirts that said anyone but OU. So maybe they weren't fans of a certain team, but they were just there to see, you know, the festivities at the event.
And with the championship taking place in the DFW Metroplex, that favors the Sooners.
It's a home stronghold for OU, and I think that definitely does. You know, it helps us out having that fan base there. We're going to have a lot of loyal, passionate Sooner fans, and be a lot of crimson and cream in that arena.
Now, if you can't make the trip down to Dickies Arena this Thursday, that's no problem. You can catch KJ Kindler's squad on ESPN2. And if the Sooners advance to the final, you can catch that meet this Saturday the 20th on ABC. Reporting live from the South Oval, Stone Weber, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Stone. And some sad news for the OU community. One of Trinity Kitchen's friends sent us these photos to remember her life. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says Kitchens died Saturday when her car ran off the road and hit a barrier on I-44. Troopers say another OU student was in the car with her, 23-year-old Jonathan Lewis. He was treated and released from the hospital. OU's People Search shows Kitchens was a senior at the Dodge College of Arts and Sciences. OHP says they are still investigating what caused the crash, but pointed out Kitchens was not wearing a seatbelt when it happened and ejected from the car.
Well, such a tragic story there. Our thoughts are with the family for sure, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more.
Well, let's go ahead and get a first look at the weather. OU Nightly's meteorologist Sam Patterson is in the studio. Sam, what do you have for us?
Well, we managed to once again dodge another round of severe weather here in central Oklahoma. And as the old saying goes, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes because it'll change. So what we replaced the severe weather chance with are some gusty winds. You can see 20 miles per hour plus as you head further north up towards the Kansas border. And you can see, as our current dew points, a dry line starting to develop and pushing further east across the state with dew points in the upper 30s as we head further out towards the west. And because of that, we do have some fire danger alerts that we will continue to update you on as we continue out.
Well, thank you, Sam. A Norman restaurant says it may have to close its doors if it can't find a buyer. Pinocchio's reopened on Classen earlier this year. Decades ago, it was a popular campus restaurant, but the owners say it's up for sale. OU Nightly's Kaylee Fan is live with the story. Kaylee.
That's right, just 1 year shy of its grand reopening that happened last May, Pinocchio's is closing its doors once more and seeking new ownership. According to a Facebook post earlier this morning, the restaurant is citing not being able to pay rent on time as its reason for its closure, as it has, quote, been able to maintain every other aspect of its business. When I spoke with the owner of Pinocchio's, Michael Nash, earlier today, he says that as long as he's able to find someone who truly cares about the culture and history behind Pinocchio's, as it originally opened in the early 70s by OU alum Glenn Woods and then closed in the early 2000s, he's able to walk away from the business with a clear conscience.
It'd be nice to know that the last 3 years weren't for nothing, but if this place can stay alive and stay open, then I can walk away from it satisfied.
Although Nash says he will try to keep the doors of this restaurant open until somebody expresses interest in buying, if he does decide to close the doors for good, this will be the 6th restaurant closure in Norman this academic year. Reporting live outside of Pinocchio's, Kaylee Fan, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kaylee. And former Sooner basketball player and NBA star Blake Griffin announced his retirement today on X. He played 13 seasons in the NBA and made 5 All-NBA teams. Griffin says in his announcement that one thing he wants to express is thankfulness, and to quote, "I have to acknowledge my parents, Tommy and Gail, and my brother Taylor for their unconditional support and guidance," end quote. He adds that the game of basketball gave him so much in life and he wouldn't change a thing. And coming up later in sports, OU Nightly interviews one of Blake Griffin's Sooner teammates.
A new bill to ban TikTok could be up for a House vote this week. Sources say the ban is tucked into a set of 4 separate bills. 3 of the bills have aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, and the 4th includes a ban on TikTok. The new bill will ban the platform from U.S. app stores. Supporters of the bill say the social media company is a national security risk. TikTok says about 170 million Americans use the platform, and banning it faces opposition. The new House bills could hold some appeal for Democrats as they've been trying to pass foreign aid for months. But the White House prefers a Senate package that does not ban TikTok.
And the House has also kick-started an impeachment trial for the first cabinet secretary to be impeached in nearly 150 years. OU Nightly's Brooke Griggs has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
House Republicans have officially sent the impeachment articles for Alejandro Mayorkas to the Senate. The GOP lawmakers voted to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary in February, saying he mishandled the southern border during his time under the Biden administration. However, the Senate Democrats are expected to dismiss the articles of impeachment. In Baltimore, a 4th body has been recovered after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. Authorities say the body was found trapped in a construction vehicle at the collapse site. The medical examiners has identified the body, but the name will not be released per their family's request. Search teams are still looking for 2 more missing victims. In Denmark, a major fire has destroyed one of Copenhagen's most famous landmarks. The iconic 400-year-old stock exchange building was engulfed in flames today, causing part of the building to collapse. People in the area scrambled to rescue historic artifacts and paintings. Denmark's deputy prime minister calling this their own Notre Dame disaster. And in New York, 6 juries have been seated in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. The lawyers still need to pick 6 more jurors and 6 alternatives before the trial can begin. Emily, Noah, back to you.
Well, thanks, Brooke. And still to come, a sweet pup with a connection to an Oklahoma musician. Find out more in this week's Pet of the Week.
And today in the world of music, pop icon Shakira has a big announcement for her fans. We have that and more coming up. Today we're highlighting a pup that was found on the property of one of Oklahoma's biggest legends. OU Nightly's Abigail Franklin has all the details in this week's Pet of the Week.
This week, our 4-legged friend is a people-loving pit bull who has a unique connection with Oklahoma's own Toby Keith.
Ready? Sit. Good girl.
She ain't into wine or roses, but she is a little whiskey girl.
So she was picked up by Toby Keith's house, which is why she got her name Whiskey Girl. She's friendly with all humans. I can't imagine that she would not love children. She's just a really good dog that deserves so much more than what life has given her so far.
Hoping the 4th time is a charm in finding her home, as her story is an uphill battle.
February 23 is when she was adopted the first time. And then December of 23 is when we got called out to her as an animal cruelty case. Once we got her healthy, we got her adopted, and then she was picked up as a stray in March of this year.
But Whiskey Girl says, "How do you like me now?" as she looks to her new home.
She's a pretty calm dog. I caught her yesterday laying on the desk in the office.
Whiskey Girl is looking for her happy ending this week, and she's hoping that you'll be taking her to her final home. Reporting for OU Nightly, Abigail Franklin.
If you're interested in Whiskey Girl, you can contact Norman Animal Welfare with any of the options on your screen. Whiskey Girl is spayed, vaccinated, microchipped, and her adoption fee is waived. It's never too late to save a pet in need.
Well, attention Shakira fans, she's kicking off another world tour later this year. It's her first one since 2018. Her tour starts November 2nd in Palm Desert, California, with stops all around the U.S. and Canada, and it wraps up a month later in Detroit, December 15th. The tour features music from her latest album, Women No Longer Cry, released in March, her 12th studio album. Shakira says it's going to be a mix of pop, reggae, and regional rock, and it describes her journey from vulnerability to resistance. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, April 17th.
And coming up, a food company is issuing a nationwide recall on its bagels.
After reports of adverse reactions, they're putting that recall into place, and we'll tell you what to look out for after the break.
And coming up later this week, severe weather and cooler temperatures are on the horizon. We'll take a look at all that and more coming up. Well, shaped up to be a pretty nice day for us here in Central Oklahoma. Live look at Highway 9 just south of our campus here in Oklahoma. And 81 degrees outside, feels like 79. So not too bad wind, a little fast right now, 17 to 20 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. Unfortunately though, allergies are still sticking around, trees level high, everything else low. But really, these trees are affecting a lot of people. I know a lot of people here around at Nightly have been feeling the effects. So where are we at right now? You can see low pressure is sitting off towards the north. As we go throughout the week, you can't really see it on here, but I promise what's going to happen is as this storm moves out, we are going to warm up for the middle part of this week. As you can see, the low pressure will move out towards the north, and as that moves out, cold air will replace it. So we are going to cool down pretty drastically for this weekend, and as we move throughout the week, could see some showers most of the day on Saturday. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s, and then you can see another low pressure start to build out late onto Sunday out in the Pacific Northwest, which could possibly make its way down here and be our next round of severe weather. But it's Oklahoma, it's April, of course that means severe weather. Thankfully for us in central Oklahoma, this does look to stay mostly towards the southeast. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Storm Prediction Center to move it a little bit more northwest, but at the moment you can see slight risk all the way from North Texas all the way up in past Missouri into Illinois. So quite a wide area of severe weather risk. We'll move in now towards Oklahoma. You can see McAllister in that marginal risk right now, Idabel and several other counties in southeastern Oklahoma under that slight risk. We will continue to monitor. As you can see, this is for Thursday. It's not anytime soon. We still got 3 days till we are there. So we continue to monitor that for you as we move throughout the week. You can see rain chances, like I said, Thursday and Friday will increase a little bit. Big day for rain on Saturday. It's probably going to be rain throughout most of the day. And unfortunately, it is going to be pretty chilly out there as well. But thankfully, if you want to go take your pet for a walk, going to be a pretty nice set of days. You can see tomorrow, we're going to start a little bit cooler at 60. Quickly warm up into those mid and upper 80s. It's going to be a little bit windy, unfortunately dry as well. So those allergies are going to stick around for quite a bit longer. So let's take a look out. You can see it's not Sunday on Easter. I apologize about that, but you can see nearly 90 for our Wednesday as we move in towards the weekend. Temperatures are going to drop into the upper 50s. It's going to be pretty chilly as this weekend. We do have the spring game coming up. Unfortunately, not much of a spring game, more of a fall game with that rain and those cold temperatures.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I am still looking forward to it, though. Hopefully going to get my tickets soon, and yeah.
Yeah, I definitely
put on a jacket.
Yes, maybe a rain jacket, and maybe an umbrella.
Bring the ponchos.
Okay, all right, ponchos and cold. So yeah, definitely going to want to bundle up out there for the spring game.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much, Sam. A bagel that was supposed to be gluten-free was just recalled for having gluten. Feel Good Foods issued the nationwide voluntary recall due to cross-contamination. The company made this decision after receiving one consumer report of an adverse reaction to gluten. The affected products include the gluten-free plain and everything flavored cream cheese stuffed mini bagels. And according to the FDA, both products have best buy dates from May 29th, 2024 to September 17th, 2025, listed on the bottom of the boxes.
Feel Good Foods says to call or email them with any questions or concerns.
Well, OU basketball legend Blake Griffin announced his retirement from the NBA today.
OU Nightly's Kaylee Jo Hummel has more on the Sooner star's career.
First overall pick, NBA Rookie of the Year, and getting his number retired at OU. What can he do? When we come back, we'll have an exclusive interview with Griffin's teammate from his college days. Next in sports. Hello, I'm Kaylee Jo Hummel, and it's time for sports. All good things must come to an end, and after 14 years, one Sooner legend proves this true. Former Sooner and NBA All-Star Blake Griffin calls it a career today, announcing his retirement on social media. The 2011 Rookie of the Year was a standout at Oklahoma, averaging nearly 19 points a game in college, and as you can see here, excelled further after being drafted #1 in the pros. Today, I sat down with Griffin's former teammate, Kay Davis, about the legacy the forward leaves behind.
He's #1. I mean, he's been the best representation of the state. He's done a great job of, again, keeping kind of that home body, of retaining that and going to Oklahoma, which was a huge decision, not only for myself as his teammate for the next couple of years, but just for the fans and the support around the program.
Switching to Sooners still in the NBA, several Sooners are looking to play in to the playoffs. Austin Reeves and the Lakers take on the Pelicans tonight at 6:30 p.m. Buddy Hield and Trae Young, along with their respective squads, get their chance tomorrow. While the Thunder have secured their spot in the playoffs, who they will face in Bricktown is still up in the air. Their 4 potential opponents include the Lakers, Pelicans, Kings, and Warriors. Head coach Mark Dagnall is proud of his team after claiming their 6th division title.
To win a division is really, really difficult, and it was this team's first opportunity to make our mark on the organization, and these guys have worked really hard. They've done it together. They've embodied, really everything we want to be about in the process. And so it's not just the fact that we accomplished that, but it was the way we accomplished it.
Patty Gasso and her girls return to Hall of Fame Stadium, where they know a thing or two about taking a W there. Tonight, OU softball faces Tulsa in a midweek tilt at 6 p.m. The Sooners lead the series of this non-conference matchup all time, 47-10, and are undefeated in neutral site games against the Golden Hurricane. And OU women's tennis knows a thing or two about playing leapfrog. Over the weekend, the Sooners wrapped their regular season with a 4-2 win over TCU. On deck for OU, the Big 12 championships in Stillwater. Oklahoma is entering the tournament as the #3 seed with first serve tomorrow. Emily, Noah.
Well, thanks, Kaylee Jo. Coming up, we are just a few days away from the 29th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing.
Learn how filmmakers are hoping to share the story with a new generation next.
I'm Kariana Gamboa. There are 3 new investigations into who's to blame for the deadly Baltimore Bridge collapse. Victims and survivors' families say they are opening their own investigation into the collision. The FBI and Coast Guard's opening a criminal investigation, while the city of Baltimore wants to know who's to blame for destroying the bridge. Noah, Emily.
Thanks, Kariana. Now on HBO Max is a documentary revisiting the bombing of the Murrow Building in Oklahoma City. Coming just 3 days ahead of the bombing's 29th anniversary, the filmmakers Mark Levin and Daphne Pinkerson say the film is to educate a new generation on the nation's deadliest domestic terrorist attack.
The remembrance ceremony is this Friday and will honor the victims of the bombing. OU Nightly will be there to provide coverage.
That's right. You know, as great it would be to sit home and take a look at that documentary, it's a wonderful day to get outside. It's really nice out there.
Absolutely. We'll check in with Sam one last time for the weather.
Good news is, couple days going to be pretty nice. You can see if you want to go walk the dog or the cat this weekend, if you want to walk your cat, temperatures in the 80s next couple days. Then we see rain starting to move on through, really not cooling down for us on Saturday, but going to be a pretty nice couple days coming up.
Well, thank you so much, Sam, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Noah Mack. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.